Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thanks to our brother. The third agenda is singing of one student and hymnal of Wali Songo Islamic Public School to the glory by Ahmad Kami Baindan. The audience please join us. Thanks to our brother Ahmad Fahmi Bendon. Okay, the next agenda is the open speak. The open speak is to the chairman of the Workers Maintenance and Developer Foundation, to the Mr. Zaki Saidi, LC GDIS, MR Fund, MPI. The time and prize consider yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, alladzi bi ni'matihi tatimmu shalihat wa bi fadlihi tatanazzalu al-khairat wal barakat wa bi tawfiqihi tatahaqqaqu al-maqasid wal ghayat. Syahadatun an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarika la wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Qala Allah Ta'ala fi kitabihil karim wa basyiril ladzina amanu wa 'amilus shalihat anna lahum jannatin tajri min tahtiha al-anhar kullama ruziqu minha min thamaratir rizqan qalu hadha alladhi ruziqna min qabl wa utu bihi mutashabiha wa lahum fiha azwajun mutahharatun wa hum fiha khalidun. My sisters, and especially I don't know what to say. This is my daughter actually, Desi Hanara and others. My Musrif, Ustadz Fawaid, and of course my sons, class 6. Class 6. What do you call? In same level or in same generation, is it? In the same Semangat generation, insyaAllah. Allahu Akbar. All right. It's not too formal, right? It's not too formal. Tonight and this evening, I'm so very happy. I'm so damn happy. I'm very grateful for everyone, especially for the committee, for actually give me a little bit space for giving speech impression for this occasion. I don't know how to say, but because I don't know, it is a very strong impression. It's because especially today we are having very good persons like Mrs. Hanara, and she is now doing so well for her job, her occupation, and her career. And it is almost very rare for everyone to hear that our graduate, our family graduate, are very successful in their career, especially in academic career and professional career. She is a very good example for every one of us, And I have to mention in this occasion that she was not very good while she was a student, and not very good means she's not in the top rank of the students, but actually and factually and eventually, finally, she's become they achieve a very great successful life, and successful life in that sense, in career and professional life. So I'm glad. Saya sangat suka, senang karena kesempatan kali ini saya diberi kesempatan khususnya melihat anak-anak saya yang begitu semangat, saya sempat menitik karir ya, meneteskan sedikit air mata ketika melihat pencapaian Ngabar yang sampai hari ini sudah luar biasa. Dan saya tidak membayangkan orang yang ada di depan kamu itu dulunya memimpikan Ngabar yang seperti hari ini yang kita impikan. Memimpikan Ngabar yang very tolerant, open-minded. Beliau ini dulu orang yang sering dikejar-kejar MPS. Ya, dikejar-kejar MPS karena tidak diizinkan untuk ikut competition, English competition. Dan I still kept the picture. And I was wondering one day I will give this to her, and I couldn't imagine that happen. Jadi saya kira nggak ada bayangan bahwa rebellion, orang-orang rebel kayak dia itu sekarang duduk di depan Anda semua dan akan menceritakan bagaimana dia bisa achieve profesional karir yang dia dapatkan. Tentu Anda nanti bebas ya bertanya. Dan ini perempuan, mestinya kan hebatnya kan panitia ini nggak hanya menyediakan presenter yang dari cowok, tapi juga dari cewek. Dan jarang sekali alumni Ngabar itu sukses di profesional karir, khususnya di international world. Saya mau cerita sedikit ya. Saya baru pulang dari Surabaya. Pulang dari Surabaya, saya nginep di Hotel Harris. Pertemuan rapat pimpinan Malang ya. Saya menginap di salah satu hotel di Malang dan saya bertemu dengan sekitar 158 rektor. Nah, kebetulan saya sekarang rektor Institut Agama Islam Redul Mujahidin. So welcome, Terang Des, ini baru 6 hari Des. Just less than 1 month. Dan sesuatu yang belum kita sentuh adalah IRM. Saya ingin suatu saat, dan saya sudah punya desain, suatu saat Ngabar itu harus memiliki University of Ngabar, atau Ngabar University atau University of Ngabar. One day. Dan saya menginginkan nanti kelak pendidikan menengah ini jenjang yang masih akan lanjut menjadi university. Dan saya sudah menyiapkan lahannya di Dengok itu, dan master plan-nya. Nanti Desi yang mungkin suatu saat akan balik ke Ngabar, 1-2 times gitu, bisa ngisi di University of Ngabar gitu. Dan saya juga ingin menjadikan IRM itu university ya yang berkelas internasional dan seterusnya. Baik, saya mau cerita sedikit gitu. Jadi ketika saya berada di hotel yang bersama ratusan orang itu, I was wondering gitu. Jarang sekali saya menemukan di antara mereka adalah alumni Ngabar. Ya. Ini menjadi satu PR besar bagi kita, khususnya antum yang sekarang kelas 6, ustadz-ustadz, siap-siap ustadznya. Antum adalah duta-duta Ngabar yang seharusnya hari ini sudah menyiapkan strategi bagaimana antum bisa berkarir di masa yang akan datang. Coba bayangkan, dari 158 rektor itu, saya hanya satu-satunya, I'm the only one. I'm the only one rektor di kalangan kooperatif 4 Surabaya, dan saya merasa so like jatuh gitulah, kayak jatuh gitu, karena my university is not among the best university among the others. Jadi saya merasa, saya kan orang yang nggak bisa terima. Saya kalau sudah urusan Ngabar itu, saya nggak bisa terima Ngabar itu kalah. Desi tahu senyum-senyum itu. Jadi saya kalau sudah urusan Ngabar, that's in my blood. It's always in my blood. Saya kalau jangankan urusan university, urusan main bola saja, urusan main futsal saja, saya nggak mau kalah. Kalau sudah urusannya Ngabar sama Gontor apalagi. Jadi di hari itu ketika, thank you. Jadi di hari itu ketika saya berhadapan dengan sekian banyak orang itu, di otak saya harus menanamkan jiwa Ngabarian ini kepada seluruh kelas 6. Ya, jangan sampai, dan alhamdulillah kelas 6 tahun ini adalah good example, Mereka yang saya pukuli wajah-wajahnya itu akan membekas, mereka itu barokahnya. Insya Allah mereka nanti akan mengenang, mereka akan terkenang ketika mereka menjadi kiai yang setiap malam kita tahajudi, yang mereka nanti saatnya nanti menjadi orang-orang sukses. Ya, kita doakan dengan Al-Fatihah. Saya menginginkan kelak mereka itu menjadi duta-duta ngabar di dalam event apapun, ya, di akademik, di profesional, dan lain sebagainya. Maka jarang sekali. Saya kira Desi di Asean, ya. Nah, nanti saya berharap itu siapapun yang ada di situ yang bahasa Inggrisnya tolong ditingkatkan, ya kan. Ustadz Fawed mau mengagendakan TOEFL untuk kelas 6. Luar biasa, TOEFL juga luar biasa. Ada pertukaran pelajar tahun ini kan ke Amerika, luar biasa. Itu meeting yang di depan antum itu, yang di Alkali Jogo itu harus menjadi inspirasi kebangkitan ngabar di masa yang akan datang. Dan apa yang kita bangun, bangunan yang kita bangun tidak ada artinya jika tidak ada orang-orang hebat yang ada di dalamnya. Maka saya kira perempuan yang duduk di sana itu hanya menikmati, saya kira tidak ada fasilitas waktu itu. Dia hanya takut setiap kali lewat depan gerbang, dan kalau takut ditangkap oleh MPS Putri gitu. Dan kalau sudah ditangkap MPS Putri, bilangnya saya sudah izin sama Ustadz Zaki. Itu. Nah, jadi harus bermasalah itu kan gitu. Nanti biarlah dia cerita. Nanti akan saya tinggalkan. Saya tidak akan ikut forum ini biar Hanara bisa menceritakan bagaimana perjuangan dia sebagai alumni Ngabar, dan semoga Ustadz Fawaid dan teman-teman diberikan kekuatan, ya, nikmati forum ini anak-anakku sekalian, ya, tanyalah sebanyak-banyaknya, ya kan? Tanya sebanyak-banyaknya. Tidak ada orang yang sempurna, tapi tanyalah yang sebanyak-banyaknya. Ini adalah kepentingan antum semuanya. Semangat, jangan sampai ada yang tidur, ya. Jangan sampai ada yang tidur. Dan saya hadir di kesempatan kali ini bukan saja memberikan dukungan kepada Ustadz Fawaid dan teman-teman, tapi kepada antum. Nah, saya hanya ingin melihat antum sukses yang bisa saya banggakan, dan saya insya Allah akan hadir di hari di mana antum diwisuda sebagai alumni, dan akan saya sampaikan kepada mereka, contohlah mereka ini sebagai alumni-alumni yang bisa memberikan contoh dan tauladan kepada adik-adiknya, dan insya Allah akan menjadi duta-duta ngabar di masa yang akan datang. Syukron jazil, syukurkum jazilan, astaghfikum. Insya Allah sanaltaqikum insya Allah qariban. Saya harus izin ini Ustadz Fawid dari forum ini, tapi sekali lagi thank you, my gratitude Hanara, Desi, and everyone for us. Kalau nanti ada saya, kayaknya itu forum tidak berkembang. Jadi silahkan anak-anak tanya bebas itu, ya, tanya bebas. Semoga nanti anak-anak bisa istifadah dari beliau. Beliau nggak apa-apa, antum pakai bahasa Arab juga bisa, bahasa Inggris juga bisa, gitu. Ya, dua-duanya bisa insya Allah. Dan terima kasih itu MC-nya, MC-nya juga keren. MC-nya juga keren. Pokoknya keren, pokoknya kelas 6 tahun ini keren. Walaupun leto-letoy keren, insya Allah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thanks to Ustadz Zaki Saidi, who gives our speech. So the next agenda is to use our moderator, Satria Egi Pangestu. The time and floor is yours. All right. Thanks to our Master of Ceremony for giving me the opportunity to continue tonight's program. First of all, let me greet the present tonight. Dear our presenters tonight, namely Mrs. Desi Hanara, FELLM, and what you are proud of our student of plastic. Let me read the short copy. For your information, she is a professional with more than 10 years international and regional experience with intergovernmental and interparliamentary organizations. She also graduated Ngabar 39 at Wali Songo Islamic Boarding School. History of Education, Master of Law, LLM in Public International Law, Leiden University, the Netherlands, February 2017 until January 2018. Bachelor degree in Law, Al-Azhar University, Cairo, Egypt 2005 until 2011. Professional experience, Senior Officer, External Relations, Division 3, Asean Secretariat, June 2021 until present. Southeast Asian Regional Coordinator, and freedom of religion or belief, International Panel of Parliamentarians for Freedom of Religion or Belief, IPPFORB, December 2017 until June 2021. And Technical Officer, Asean Secretariat, January 2012 until January 2017. Selected public speaking experience. Facilitator High Level Journal on FORB and SDGs. 23 September 2021. ETC. Researcher, Institute for Study of Religion and Philosophy, January 2012 until June 2012. Intern at Asean Studies Program, the Habibi Center, October 2010. Intern at Political Function, the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Egypt, during until August 2010. And more than just. Okay. Just allow me before presenting the material. I also need to remind you that the material presentation lasts for 5 minutes, and the remaining 10 minutes we have discussion. And for the audience to listen and ask questions while there is still time. So there are 127 students at the end of class 6 who come from various islands and regions. You have hope after hearing the story from Desi Hanara. Students in class 6 are motivated and enthusiastic to achieve their goals in the future. Okay, I want to long and can wait to hear the stories and experience from Kak Desi Hanara. So welcome the time and place.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To honorable all the asatids yang dimuliakan Allah, my brothers, grade 6 student, I'm sure you guys will make us proud. I would like to extend my profound gratitude to the committee and also to Ustaz Zaki for kindly inviting me to this reunion, I would call. It's been 15 years since I graduated from Ngabar. I can't remember what year I graduated actually. Maybe 25 or 24. And since then I haven't visited Ngabar, and despite virtually, I think it's been really lovely to me to be among all of you. So I didn't expect this to be in English, but we'll see. I mean, let's speak. If you prefer to be in Bahasa, let me know. But if you want to go on with English, then we can go on as well. So yeah, I'm glad to be here to be sharing with you sort of some reflection and life experience in terms of how to become a qualified and also internationally competitive Ngabar alumni. So I was 39 alumni of Ngabar, as you can see in the pictures. Can you spot me? Yeah, so I was there for 4 years because I studied with intensive program. And it was lovely experience in Ngabar. It was really, I would say it was crucial time in my life because it was the time where I really started to develop my character, to develop my sense of leadership, to identify what I want in life, and to also start to map out what are the steps that I need to take in order for me to reach my goal. So it all happened in Ngabar. That's why it's really important place to me. So yeah, so I would say I think it's really important investment. I would call investment to be to have a good career I believe it's an accumulation between your determination, ability to utilize opportunities, experience, and also consistency in your specialization. And because of that, I think it's really important for us to identify what are our life dreams, what we want when it comes to specialization. Do you want to be a diplomat? Do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to be a lawyer? You have to identify that as soon as possible. You have to start early, since you are right now, since you are about to graduate from Ngabar, because you are about to decide which campus are you going to, which program are you going to enroll yourself. So I think it's really crucial time for you to decide. And what I did when I was in Ngabar, I did a lot of correspondences. At that time, we don't have social media, no Facebook, no Instagram. What I did was I was writing a letter to some youth. I remember in Koperasi, there was a magazine, it's called Anida magazine. And there was one program where they actually choose a highly accomplished Muslim youth from around Indonesia. And some of them are actually majoring in international relations. So at that time, I was interested to be a diplomat. So yeah, with all the curiosity and with all the, I tried to contact them, because I got their email. No, I got their address at that time, not email. So I emailed them. I told them that I'm about to graduate from Ngabar. I wanted to pursue international relations. What do you guys think? What do I need to do? What books did I need to read? This kind of thing, So despite the limitation at that time, we don't have social media, we don't have emails, but correspondence took place, and it actually enlightened me. There was a very crucial step that I took because it linked me to some communities, and I was informed about some of books that I need to read. And also, I got, what is important is also some views about this major that I want to enroll myself, international relation. So yeah, and I also like to talk to our kiai, to our teachers, as Ustaz Zaki said, I always like to visit, his residence to, along with some friends. We come to him, we talk to him just to practice our English. At that time, I didn't speak English much, but we have all the courage to practice English, to talk, to share about what we think about Ngabar, what we think about future. So it's really important to talk to our teachers, to identify role model, and also inspiring figure, and learn how did they achieve their achievement. Yeah, and right now, with all the digital era that we are living in, I think it's really easy for us to build network, say, for instance, you are interested in law, you wanted to be a lawyer. It's really easy for you to find on Facebook, some groups, associated with lawyers, for instance, and you can always Google them, and then you can enroll yourself. You can join those kind of communities. It's really important because at one point it will give you, information that you need, the steps that you need to take, when it comes to building your career. So I think we better do it as soon as possible. So I think being in Ngabar, we are already in on the right, path, because we are speaking English and Arabic. We know that both English and Arabic are the language of United Nations. So you have, this language is being internationally recognized. If you want to work for the United Nations, you need to state whether or not you are able to speak either English or Arabic. So if you speak Arabic, if you speak English, you have a higher chance to be admitted to, for instance, United Nations. So yeah, another thing that we really need to pay attention to is, for instance, to join international program. So I think to be an internationally competitive individual, we need to try and try. For instance, I remember my first encounter to Western country was to Australia at that time. That was when I graduated from Al-Azhar in Egypt. And then I applied for this program. It was, it's called leadership program for young Muslim in Southeast Asia and also in Australia. So I joined that exchange, and it was really my first encounter to the Western country. I was able to engage with Muslim from different communities in Australia. And also we had an engagement with people from different faiths, the Christian, you know, the Buddhist and the Hindu and all those kind of things, because it was in response to 9/11. You remember what happened in 9/11, right? It was the bomb, right? And then people wanted to know, do all Muslim terrorists? So they invited us, they wanted to know whether all Muslim are terrorists. Of course we are not, right? So it was the Australia program, but it was really important because it was my first encounter, as I told you. So I also joined this. If you are on Instagram or if you are on Facebook, you can Google G20 Youth Summit, for instance, G20 Youth Summit. So every year, annually, on an annual basis, they will select delegation that they will send to G20 Youth Summit. So you will have a chance to represent Indonesia in that summit. G20 is one of international organization where Indonesia is a member. And yeah, so I think it's really important to join this international program, because it will, you will study to realize, you will engage with people from different countries, and you will realize how advanced they are. And we need to catch up with them, like we are of the same age, but they are already able to think in the way they think, which is different from us, because they are so advanced in many things. So in a way, it's an encouragement for us. So yeah, activism, voluntarism is important. I believe Ngabar is a good place for this one. You do your SCOT, Pramuka, organisasi, ada segala macam organisasi di Ngabar. And I believe this is really important for us, because it will develop our leadership quality. It will allow us to do networking, and you will be able to, to do better time management, because you are busy, you are running different organizations, you are a student at the same time, you don't have choice but to do a good time management, right? And then it will also enhance your rational thinking, and of course your interpersonal and also communication skill. So if you are already enrolled in any organization, that's good. You are on the right path. So do continue, and this is really beneficial for your future. And yeah, I mean, later on, after you graduated from Ngabar, you will go to university, right? And then in the university, you will have a chance to do internship program magang, for instance, right? So this program is really important. Saya dulu saya kuliah di Al-Azhar, dan saya SMA-nya di Ngabar. Tapi saya cita-citanya ingin bekerja di sektor hubungan internasional. Saat itu saya sadar saya punya banyak ketinggalan dibanding teman-teman yang dari jurusan hubungan internasional misalkan. Karena kita di pesantren, kita di Mesir, kita ada pelajaran kita lebih banyak dari mereka. Kita belajar bahasa Arab dan segala macamnya. Sementara mereka memang hanya fokus pada itu saja, begitu. Dari perspektif seperti itu saja, memang kita ada semacam challenge to compete with them, right? So what did I do to compete with them? Lalu apa yang saya lakukan agar saya bisa kompetitif dengan mereka? So I thought I need to do internship. I have to do program-program magang. So I did 3 internship at that time. Pertama di Kedutaan Besar Indonesia di Cairo. At that time it was in political section. It's really important. It's a good place to learn about, Egyptian and Indonesian bilateral ties, and also, to understand, Middle Eastern geopolitics and day-to-day work of the embassy, for instance. And I also did an internship at the Habibie Center, lembaga milik Pak Habibie, because they have a very good study center. It's called Asean Studies Program. And also I did an internship at Kementerian Luar Negeri di Divisi Hukum dan Perjanjian Internasional. So, yeah, of course, program-program magang ini tidak dibayar, tetapi ini penting sekali untuk investasi kita begitu, karena ini akan merupakan exposure langsung terhadap dunia profesional. Ini akan meningkatkan expertise kita, networking kita, dan juga segala macam skill kita, interpersonal, communication, leadership, dan itu sangat penting sekali ketika kita masuk ke dunia kerja. Dan selain itu, karena saya ada karena ada kesempatan untuk magang tadi, akhirnya my competitiveness increased. When I went back from Egypt, when I graduated from Al-Azhar, I was actually considered for a job in ASEAN Secretariat, and it was quite rare at that time. But jika saya tidak melakukan internship, mungkin mereka tidak akan melihat aplikasi saya, karena saya maksudnya pendidikannya di Mesir misalkan kan, walaupun saya belajar hukum di Mesir, tetapi relevansinya mungkin sedikit gitu kalau dibanding dengan pekerjaan yang saya apply di ASEAN Sekretariat. Tetapi karena saya sudah magang tadi, saya magang di kedutaan, magang di Kementerian Luar Negeri, magang di ASEAN, jadi pertimbangan mereka jadi berubah begitu. Berarti saya ada I have a chance to be considered. I'm somewhat qualified for the post, right? So yeah, and I got the job. I got the job, and it was Human Rights Division, divisi tentang hak asasi manusia, and I think it was really a good post because I was able to learn about human rights, international law, and also I had an experience to deal with this intergovernmental and interparliamentary cooperation, experience in facilitating ASEAN meetings and negotiations, experience in management and implementation of human rights activities, and so on and so forth. So this was my first, I think I would say it's my first professional experience. I think I studied it in 2012. So, but then I spent about 4 years doing this job, but then I decided I think I need to do my master's. So I need to continue my study. So so I decided to go to Netherlands, and of course I don't want to pay by myself. Saya tidak pernah mau bayar sendiri ketika sekolah. Like it has to go through scholarship, right? Saat ini untuk adik-adik ketahui pemerintah kita sangat generous, ada banyak kesempatan untuk beasiswa. Misalkan pasti adik-adik sudah tahu LPDP misalkan ya. LPDP itu akan membiayai kita ke kampus manapun, kampus-kampus terbaik di dunia. Syaratnya adalah kita diterima di kampus tersebut. Jadi bahkan diberikan insentif jika kita bisa masuk ke kampus-kampus terbaik di dunia, Oxford, Harvard, Stanford, dan lain sebagainya. Jadi tidak ada alasan untuk tidak menjadi kompetitif. Pemerintah sudah memfasilitasi melalui LPDP. Saya juga dulu ke Belanda melalui LPDP. Dan selain LPDP juga ada banyak ya beasiswa lainnya, misalkan Fulbright untuk ke Amerika, ke Australia ada OS8 dan lain sebagainya, ada Erasmus untuk kampus-kampus di Eropa. Jadi itu pokoknya sekarang jika Ngabar seperti kata Ustaz Zaki tadi sudah ada program TOEFL, TOEFL, that's good. You need to do that karena memang syaratnya adalah kita bisa berbahasa sesuai dengan standar kompetensi mereka, yaitu TOEFL tadi begitu. Nah, di Leiden tadi kan saya memang dari awal kan memang ingin berkarir di international relations and then international law begitu. Jadi saya percaya bahwa karir itu memang harus dibangun dengan konsisten. If we already decide we want to go for international law, then be consistent. Karena semakin kita konsisten, semakin kita spesialis, semakin jadi kita di bidang itu begitu. Nah, itu konsepnya. Dan konsistensi itu bukan hanya di akademik, di dunia akademik saja, tetapi juga disesuaikan dengan diimbangi dengan karir tadi begitu. Nah, jadi begitu. Jadi ketika di Asean Sekretariat saya bekerja di divisi yang namanya divisi HAM dan hak asasi manusia ya. Dan di Leiden saya ingin belajar tentang hukum internasional. Kenapa di Leiden? Karena di Leiden itu ada disebutnya International City of Peace and Justice. They call it because segala macam instansi peradilan dunia ada di Belanda. Misalkan International Criminal Court, International Criminal Law Justice, ada segala yang Yugoslavia dan lain sebagainya. Jadi bayangkan di sana itu kita bisa belajar dan diajari oleh hakimnya Mahkamah Internasional misalkan, yang menjadi lecture kita begitu. Dan ada juga prosekutor dari Pengadilan Tinggi Libanon misalkan dan lain sebagainya. Nah itu jadi kita harus fokus sekali ketika membangun spesialisasi dan pastikan bahwa ada konsistensinya dengan apa yang sudah kita kerjakan. Misalkan tadi kita sudah membangun karir, ketika kita ingin melanjutkan sekolah, melanjutkan studi, ada korelasinya agar tetap konsisten arahnya begitu. Nah, sepulang dari Ngabar, saya juga berkarir di dunia. Sebelumnya kan di Asean itu lembaga antar pemerintah. Saya ingin mengeksplor lembaga non pemerintah, yaitu ada namanya IPP4. IPP4 ini adalah kayak networknya anggota-anggota parlemen yang punya komitmen terhadap isu-isu toleransi, misalkan moderasi beragama dan bagaimana kita bisa memerangi ujaran kebencian dan lain sebagainya. Nah, di sini saya bekerja selama 4 tahun juga. Saya biasanya kerja di suatu instansi itu 4 atau 5 tahun. Itu waktu yang bagus ya untuk benar-benar mengabsorb dan setelah itu kita bisa move on ke kesempatan yang lain begitu. Nah, pekerjaan di sini juga bagus karena kita benar-benar diberikan space to implement the project. Benar-benar kita kalau kita bicara masalah Asia Tenggara itu adalah negara-negara yang di mana ada isu mayoritas minoritas itu sangat ini ya, ada mayoritas Muslim, mayoritas Buddha, mayoritas Kristen misalkan. Kalau kita ke Myanmar yang minoritas siapa? Muslim kan. Nah, kalau kita di Indonesia atau Malaysia kebetulan kita Muslim yang menjadi mayoritas. Nah, isu-isu seperti ini di Asia Tenggara sangat sensitif, apalagi kalau kita sudah bicara masalah saudara-saudara kita di Myanmar misalkan, isu Rohingya. Menarik bagi saya karena saya punya kesempatan untuk advokasi isu itu. Kita ke Myanmar, kita berdialog dengan biksu ya namanya monk, biksu dari agar kita bisa ketemu nih jalur damainya bagaimana biar nggak berantem terus gitu, misalkan tidak melalui jalur kekerasan terus begitu. Seperti itu advokasinya. Intinya kita memberikan platform bagi anggota-anggota parlemen untuk bisa ikut berkontribusi dalam interfaith dialogue, tackling hate speech, membangun komunitas yang harmonis dan lain sebagainya. Nah, ya ini hanya sedikit cerita tentang pekerjaan saya sebelumnya. Tapi sejak bulan Juni lalu saya kembali lagi ke Asean Sekretariat. Di pekerjaan yang sebelumnya saya sudah 4 tahun. Saya pikir sudah cukup untuk belajar berdinamika di sana dan saya ingin mengeksplor sesuatu yang baru. Alhamdulillah diterima di Asean Sekretariat di bagian External Relations. Nah tadi kan kalau saya sebenarnya bidang yang saya minati itu cukup luas. Ada international relation, international law, international human rights law. Itu kan sebenarnya beda-beda kan bidangnya gitu, tapi walaupun satu jalur gitu. Nah, satu-satunya bidang yang belum saya praktiskan adalah international relations. Nah, saat ini saya bekerja di sektor itu. Di divisi ini saya bersama tim kami kita memanage relasi politik dan juga relasi development antara ASEAN dan sejumlah negara-negara eksternal partnernya ASEAN seperti Russia, Rusia, India, Norway, Switzerland, Germany, Turki, dan yang saya suka adalah juga negara-negara di Timur Tengah karena I have fondness with Middle East. Jadi ya tugasnya seperti misalkan contohnya ya ada special rapporteur dari PBB untuk isu Palestina. Mereka akan menghadap ke Sekjen ASEAN untuk membicarakan masalah akreditasi Palestina untuk kepada ASEAN misalkan. Jadi tugas saya lebih ke mempersiapkan talking point kayak poin-poin apa yang akan dibicarakan oleh Sekjen terkait isu Palestina ini. Saya jadi tahu negara mana aja yang pro Palestina, misalkan negara ASEAN yang pro Palestina atau negara-negara ASEAN yang kebetulan sangat support dengan Palestina begitu. Jadi seperti itu menarik sekali gitu. Misalkan saat ini UAE Uni Emirat Arab misalkan Dubai, mereka sedang proses akreditasi di ASEAN. Kita mempelajari apa saja prospek-prospek yang bisa dikontribusikan oleh negara ini terhadap ASEAN. Semacam itu pekerjaannya. Tapi lumayan banyak dealing dengan dari duta besar dari negara-negara di Timur Tengah misalkan. Dan juga kita sedang merencanakan merencanakan kayak plan of action misalkan antara ASEAN dan negara-negara di Timur Tengah. Jadi itu sedikit sharingnya mungkin teman-teman, tapi kalau boleh saya men-summarize ya, secara umum yang saya pelajari sejauh ini, saya pikir yang paling penting itu adalah bagaimana kita itu mempunyai high level technical knowledge in certain area. Jadi kayak technical knowledge itu adalah if you want to be a diplomat, then you have to be capable of international relation, international law. If you want to be a lawyer, then you have to be capable in any areas of law that you want to do, right? Sama juga, if you want to be a doctor, then you have to be capable in medicine, for instance. Jadi dan interpersonal skill itu penting. Interpersonal skill itu lebih ke karakter kita ya, tadi yang bisa kita bangun melalui organisasi, melalui networking, dan lain sebagainya. Communication skill, English, Arabic, it's your capital, itu modal utama sebagai alumni pesantren, dan percaya saja itu adalah modal yang sangat luar biasa jika teman-teman bisa perdalam lagi dan ditingkatkan lagi. Leadership skill melalui organisasi, segala macam organisasi yang ada di pesantren, kreativitas, dan kita juga berusaha untuk bisa patuh kepada deadline misalkan. Dan juga kita harus istilahnya untuk dilihat itu apakah kita kompetitif apa enggak, apakah kita itu kuat misalkan di dalam bekerja di bawah tekanan misalkan. Misalkan contohnya ya, kalau pekerjaan saya kebetulan banyak travelnya sebelum COVID ya. Jadi kayak seminggu tuh kadang 2 kali travel ke luar negeri, dan bayangkan saya harus mempersiapkan presentasi di pesawat gitu misalkan. Terus lagi sampai di sana nanti saya harus presentasi, saya harus networking, saya harus tapi ketika pulangnya lagi nanti harus menulis laporan di pesawat juga gitu. Seperti itu gitu ada, dan itu kalau kita tidak biasakan dari kecil itu mungkin akan susah gitu kalau untuk dilanjutkan. Dan ya bagaimana juga kita untuk mempunyai pengalaman untuk saat ini kan mungkin teman-teman homogen ya lingkungannya. Saya juga ketika saya rasakan ketika saya di pesantren, saya di Mesir, kita banyak berinteraksi dengan sesama Muslim begitu. Nanti ketika kita sudah di lingkungan kerja, kita akan mungkin dihadapkan dengan dengan environment yang lebih cross cultural, lebih international setting begitu, orang dengan budaya yang berbeda gitu, dan itu dibutuhkan skill lagi untuk bagaimana kita bisa adapt ourselves. Dan again it's about your English, your Arabic, and your network. So Ya, so nanti saya bisa share slide-nya jika bisa dimanfaatkan lebih lanjut. Yang pasti harus passionate about what you do. If you want to be a teacher, if you want to be, kiai, then you have to be passionate about it. Dan pastikan bahwa semua ini adalah lifelong learning process. I'm still learning. Everyone is still learning. It's a lifelong learning process. Maintain your work ethic, be genuine, and respect anyone, siapapun, baik atasan atau maupun bawahan kita, baik adik kelas atau kakak kelas, kita harus hormati dengan baik begitu. Dan kita teratur ya, harus biasa setiap pagi misalkan, kalau pagi terlalu terlambat, mungkin malam ya, besok saya mau ngapain, biasa ditulis. Apa saja yang perlu saya lakukan besok gitu. Apa target saya besok gitu. Dan biasakan setiap akhir pekan misalkan apa yang sudah dicapai, apa yang belum dicapai gitu. Itu penting sekali untuk refleksi. Skill-skill yang lain itu bisa dilatih sepanjang teman-teman mau berorganisasi, bergaul dan juga bernetworking ya dengan komunitas-komunitas yang ada. Nah, yang penting lagi mungkin karena saya kebetulan saya diberi kesempatan untuk bekerja di international setting, misalkan saya pikir penting sekali karena kita kan Muslim, we have our way of life, we don't drink, for instance, we have to pray 5 times a day, for instance. How do we bring ourselves? How do we respect others without undermining our own obligation? This kind of thing. It takes time for you. Like for instance, contohnya saja misalkan every dinner function, ketika ada dinner resmi begitu ya, like of course people will be drinking wine, for instance. So you just drink your non-alcoholic beverage and then people will understand. But at the same time, we have to still be respectful of their choice because they're non-Muslim kan. Nah terus semacam itu kita yang saya pengalami we just interact openly. Tapi at the same time, we don't compromise our Islamic values, right? It takes a bit of time to sort of master that kind of skill in the interaction. Uphold the sense of humanity, bahwa kita semua adalah manusia yang sama begitu, dan we need to be compassionate. Terus sebagai orang Islam, sebagai alumni Ngabar, ya kebetulan saya sebagai alumni Al-Azhar, kita harus melihat Islam sebagai rahmatan lil alamin, memberikan proyeksi kepada non-Muslim bahwa Islam itu adalah agama yang rahmah, agama yang wasatiyah, yang agama yang damai begitu. Karena we are the ambassadors of peace, right? And maybe that's a little bit that I can share with you tonight. I think it's been an honor. Semoga bermanfaat bagi adik-adik semua, dan kita bisa lanjutkan di diskusi. Mohon maaf atas segala kekurangannya. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you, Sis Desi, for giving us a very inspiring story to all of us. And now we enter the Q&A session for the audience to ask questions. Audience, any question? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Syahrial Alamsyah. I'm from Cirebon, West Java. I want to ask you about how to be a productive alumnus after graduate from boarding school. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Other question? Hello, my name is Yura Genta Firmansyah. I come from Denpasar, Bali. My question is, how to be a successful person like Desi Hanara actually help frozen conflict? Thank you. The last question, once again. Okay. Oh. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fami Aliazi Ramdhani. I come from Pondok. I want to ask you about what the challenge was studying abroad and motivation did you have for that challenge? Thank you very much. Okay, Sis Desi, please to answer 3 questions.
Yeah, I actually, the voice were breaking up for the first and second question, but I got the third question. Do you mind to write the first 2 questions on the chat box while I'm responding to the third question? Yeah? Okay, I will respond to the third question. What are the challenges and what are the motivation that you take to overcome the challenge, right? Just to tell you the honest story, like my life comprised of series of failures as well, not only successes. For instance, when I was deciding to go to the Netherlands for my studies, I had to take the TOEFL or IELTS test, right? I actually took 3 times for the IELTS. It took me 3 times, 3 attempts to succeed, to fulfill the score that is required by Leiden, because it's quite high. And at that time, I was working as well. I didn't have enough time to study. But yeah, I just try again, remember your goal, So, and for instance, for job application, for instance, I can tell you, like, I have been applying to countless jobs, even I wanted to work with United Nations. So like the best chance that I had was when they invited me for an interview, and that's it. I haven't gotten a chance to work there. So it's not always about success, but sometimes, especially for my current job, for instance, I applied for the same position for about 3 or 4 times, and I never got responses from them until the 4th applications. So you see, it always take more than once, attempts usually for you to arrive in certain. So do not despair, do not jangan putus asa, intinya ketika belum belum berhasil, coba lagi, kembali ingat apa goal kita, what are the goals, so it will motivate you. But yes, even when I was in Al-Azhar, I have to mention to you, I failed one time because my subject, I studied Sharia wal Qanun, Sharia and law, and it's the most difficult program in Al-Azhar because you have to, you have to study law and you have to study Sharia law at the same time. So it's like double, and then imagine you have to study like the very thick law books, criminal law, civil law of Egypt, hukum pidana, hukum perdatanya Mesir, and all in Arabic, So I failed one time, I had to mention to you, and my grades in Egypt was not very good. I mean, yeah, okay lah. I mean, I got maybe 7 jahit, not jahit jidan, But maybe in Pesantren it's easy to get mumtaz, but in Al-Azhar maybe it's a lot more difficult. But yeah, then again, you have to remember your goals whenever you fail, and it's not a fail. It's just it just needs you another attempt. Maybe you will succeed in the second attempt, right? So yeah, that's my motivation. Sorry, I couldn't hear the first and second question. Can you tell me what were the questions? The first question? The voice were breaking up, the first or the second?
How to be successful person like you?
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, you just need to try, as I mentioned to you earlier, like you have to identify your goal since the very beginning. I think it's the right moment, the right time for you to identify your goals right now. If you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a teacher, if you want to be a politician, set the goal right now. And then it will then lead you to a right choice when it comes to choosing a program in your university, right? Even choosing the university itself. So yeah, and then it will also guide you later on when you choose your communities, the organization that you want to enroll yourself. So start early, be specialist as early as possible. So be consistent, remember the goal. If you want to be, if you want to be a lawyer, so these are the steps that you need to take. Be consistent. Whenever you fail, then you just try again. So that has been the recipe, I would say it's not easy, but especially when things are, not like what you expect, but then again, yeah, you just have to accept and then get up again and try again. So yeah, I think that's the most practical suggestion that I would say to you. I mean, really setting up the goal since the beginning is the key. Yeah, and maybe the next question, I hope that responds to your query. Do you mind to repeat the question because I couldn't hear it early?
Second question. How to be a productive alumnus after graduating from a boarding school?
Sorry, it's breaking up. I'm sorry. Yeah.
How to be a productive alumnus after graduating from a boarding school?
Yeah. So I think, yeah, I think we need to, again, I would like to go back to what you want. You have to set the goal. And then after that, be sure to really excel in whatever you choose, right? And then you have to excel in a sense that I'll give you an example. For instance, I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a diplomat, right? But then the reality is that I wasn't able to enroll at one of the university in Indonesia, like UGM, for instance, UE. It's beyond my reach. I wasn't accepted, you know. So my alternative is to go to Egypt. So, but I know that Al-Azhar is also like Islamic education system, right? So the only program that would allow me to sort of be a little bit relevant to what I want is this Sharia wal Qanun. But then the consequences is a lot more difficult than you know, than other program, you know, and also it will take me longer as well because it's 5 years program, not 4 years. So, but then, well, because this is my choice, this is what I want, and this potentially could lead me to my dream, you know, then okay, you know, even when I decided to choose that program, actually the broker who brought me to Egypt, he was like, "Are you sure?" Because it's very rare that a woman would pick that program because it's you know, it's long, and if you fail, it will be even longer, you know. So yeah, I chose that program. I studied Egyptian law. I studied international relations, all in Arabic. And when I was in Egypt, I also tried to, you know, to identify some, like, you know, think tank or organization that would, you know, they would offer some discussion on you know, political issues in Egypt, for instance, like political constellation in the Middle East, you know. And I would go to their places. And then I would join their discussion, you know, just to listen to them. Even though at that time I didn't really get it, I didn't really understand the constellation, Middle East, you know, politics constellation, but it's a good place to be, right? So I was there, I studied, you know, and I learned from them, and I also joined like how do you call it? It's like non-degree program in political political faculty in Cairo University. So it's not in Al-Azhar, but it's very dynamic there. I mean, you can learn from them. You can have this model United Nation, you know, something that we don't have in Al-Azhar, because Al-Azhar is very traditional setting. So probably we need to complement, you know, with some other skill that may be important for us. So I went to Cairo University. I went there by myself. I asked them if there are any program that I can enroll, you know. So yeah, you have to think out of the box, you know, and then just reflect what are the, you know, what are the disadvantages that you are in, and then how do you overcome that? How do you compensate that? So that's what I did, you know. So I told you before that I enrolled to 3 internship program, you know, the program magang. That's also to compensate the fact that, you know, I come from this very Islamic education background, and I did not study Asean in my studies, in my formal studies. I did not, you know, study about Indonesian foreign policy, for instance. But how do I compensate that? Then I came with an idea of internship. So then again, because I have a network, because I was, at that time I was, we had blog community. Right now you have social media. At that time we were still blogging. And then there was this law blogger community. And then from them, I was able to, you know, to get a contact in Ministry of Foreign Affairs, for instance, at Habibi Center. So this, you know, build the network as soon as possible. So that's, I think, sort of, you know, what brought me to my current state, I would say, because it's always the you know, the intention to think out of the box and to try things, to just explore things, explore the impossible, So yeah, because of that, as I mentioned to you, I was considered for the post because the job that I applied in Asean Secretariat, it actually required 5 years experience, 5 years work experience. I did not have such experience, but then because maybe they considered my internship experience, my education. So yeah, and thankfully I was admitted, and then it was a good opportunity to embark even more in that sector. So yeah, so that's sort of a little bit experience that I can share with you. I hope that helps.
Okay, sis, one question for me. How to change that habitual into good habitual?
Sorry, it's breaking up the sound. Maybe you don't use the mic. Does that help?
How to change that habitual into good habitual?
Yeah. So, I mean, you mean how to sorry, I couldn't hear because it was breaking up in my network. So you mean how to change a bad habit into good habit? Is it? Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I think we need to like even right now, I also identify some bad habit of me. Like I tend to overthink, for instance, I tend to be quite sensitive with my surrounding. So I don't think it gives me a positive side, a positive vibe, a positive energy. So yeah, I think we human being, we need to always evaluate what is positive and what is negative about us. And if we feel like it's a negative, it will pose a challenge to our development, then we have to address it, So I think right now it's very easy, how to overcome overthinking. You just Google it and then you will find plenty tips actually. And it's proven tips, and it's reliable from reliable sources that you can rely on, So yeah, I mean, if you, for instance, I also, there are times where I feel lazy as well, right? I feel like maybe I have worked too much. I need to be lazy, maybe this weekend. But when the laziness extended beyond a day, then you have to be a little bit worried, why am I lazy? It's already Monday, for instance. So you can Google, how to overcome this. It actually worked for me, So because if you Google, then you will, Google will present you with many articles, many suggestions that will help you, and they are reliable sources. So yeah, for instance, the bad habit is that you are not very disciplined about getting your goal, pursuing your goal, for instance. Then maybe you need to be surrounded by people who are very focused with their goal, very motivated about their goal, Maybe you need, maybe more positive influence, and hence you need to be always put yourself in a positive support system, for instance, in positive circle of friends, for instance, because you can't rely on yourself all the time. There are times where you will feel lazy, demotivated, and it's the time where your friend can remind you about you. So yeah, I hope that helps.
Maybe any question again? Mr. Rian. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry, madam. My name is Rian. I come from Isngawi.
We need to working in the international company. But we are from Bali. What are the berikut, madam?
Okay. You want to work in international company? Yes. Okay. So, like, can I ask you a question, follow-up question to that? What kind of international company? Like, is it like mining sector? Like, for instance, in what area? Have you identified what international company is it?
Mr. Ryan, can you repeat your question?
No, not to repeat the question, but it's more a follow-up question. Have you either, because there are many international companies in different sectors, right? Which specific sector do you want to work? Is it mining or is it development? What sector?
More specific. More specific.
Yeah. What company? What international company? Yeah. So that's how you should start. First of all, you have to identify what company, what sector do you want? Yes, you want international company, but you have to identify which sector. Okay, for instance, mining. Mining? Yeah. Mining? Mining company, good. Yes, so of course you have to, for instance, you have to identify countries with mining resources, for instance. Negara-negara, maybe Middle East countries, maybe what are other countries that you can think of mining companies? And then have you look up their website? Have you looked up their website? You have to know, like for instance, in Indonesia, I don't know what are the names of the companies, but you can identify what are the names of the companies and then look up their website and then see there is always vacancy section in their website, and then see what type of vacancies that are usually available, what type of work that they usually hire, right? For instance, specialists in this, mining specialists or this kind of this. And then can you open that job vacancy and see what are the qualifications? What are the qualifications that are required from you in order for you to be competitive? And then can you make a checklist based on your self-assessment? How do you think, you are eligible? Do you think people would be interested with your profile? So that's your self-assessment. So if you think you need to improve on certain area, then you have to work on that. For instance, they will require you to speak English, have maybe 7 score for your IELTS or TOEFL, then you have to work on that. If you have to have certain expertise, for instance, do you have that already, or do you need to do like maybe additional courses, maybe online course to catch up with that, and then and then I think it's really a matter of knowing specifically what you want, and then you identify what are the opportunities. For instance, the name of the mining companies, for instance, and then also if you can identify also people who have worked in that company, if you can potentially make contact with them to ask them, about the experience of getting hired, getting selected in that company, what process. So it's always good to talk to people who are already in the system, who went through the selection process. So it will be a good learning curve for you. And then, yeah, I think that would be my steps if I were to work, if I wanted to work for the mining company, as you call. Yeah, I hope that helps.
Okay, I think enough here. Okay, sis, thank you for your experience. It's very wonderful experience.
Thank you.
I hope we will meet again.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. All the best. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The next agenda is towards worship. So let us begin the reading Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
Amin.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.